Hey, this is Carleen Clearwater with Kickass Marketing and Creative, and I am doing a Throwback Thursday Facebook Live series. This is the first video. I apologize, I'm in my office and it's a little dark and it's kind of a wreck in here, so the lighting's not that awesome. But first of all, I just kind of like check this out, see if you can see it. That would be the new giant Kick-Ass sticker. It's not like you can have a small Kick-Ass sticker, right? So anyways, I'm gonna prop this down and see if we can see what we're doing. Oh, that's better. You can kind of see the sticker better too. Anyways, so Throwback Thursday, I'm digging through my idea books and stuff I've saved that inspires me and helps me kind of get my brain cooking. And so this is like old school. So here's my ideas on the fly book. I have about 8 of these. I think I've cataloged, or realized I've cataloged like about 5,000 ideas. Mostly it's because I come from a background of print, and so I'm kind of a print crazy person. But I used to also work in a really big team, and so while I was on this really big team, people always coming in and looking for ideas, and this basically helped me organize my ideas on the fly so that other people could look at the book and just kind of get their brains cooking and maybe start thinking about what they wanted. So anyways, for this first video, I am going through this goodie. I actually found this not in my book, but I found this in my cookbook hoard. And this is a Food Network magazine from 2010. And I kept it because of the gazillions of awesome recipes in here. But I was flipping through it at the end of the year a few weeks ago to see if I wanted to just purge this or keep it. And I realized I might have even kept it because it's a marketing juggernaut of ideas. This one magazine has got more than 25 ideas and inspirations that small businesses can use to basically get hot for 2017 or get cooking, I like to say. So first, I just want to give a shout out to Food Network and foodnetwork.com. I'm not sure if you guys are fans, but I'm not sure how they did it or what the whole philosophy was behind it, or who got them started, but their whole entire network of all of their shows and all of their chefs are foodnetwork.com / Cooking with Bobby Flay, or foodnetwork.com / The Kitchen, or foodnetwork.com / whatever. And it could have very easily, when they were getting hot and getting going up and going, could have very easily turned into like a million little microsites. Microsites were really hot back then. It could have very easily just been, for lack of a better phrase, a shit show of just zillions of little puddles of sites. And they've just been brilliant about keeping all their brand working together, on point. How they talk about their .com channels and pages, and how they point their fans to the .com within their shows is just incredible. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to that, and then also I want to give a shout out to the cover. It's got all the triggers. It's got free pull-out booklet, quick last-minute ideas, win big, 123 recipes. It's got all the big call to actions. And what does that mean for a small business that's not doing a magazine? Well, it's important to know that this is how people consume content. This is how readers are consuming content. It's trigger words, and it's packaged. It's not sit down and read all of my content, read my PowerPoint, or read my annual report, or read my whole website from A to Z and all blah, blah, blah. But make it, all like packaged pieces, chunks of cool content that people can jump in and, just a little bit at a time, decide how they want to consume your content, how they want to work with, and maybe learn more about you. It doesn't all have to be, sit down and read 55 PowerPoint slides, or read my entire site, my whole life, about my whole history of my whole company. It's going to be a little overwhelming, right? So, give people small bites of content so that they can shop your content and find out what's relevant to them, not what's necessarily relevant to you. So again, shout out for the cover. And I could talk about this magazine all day. I could seriously probably put together at least a 6-month marketing plan for a small business just based on these ideas. So I'm going to talk really fast. You can see I do that already, but I'm just going to whip through this and as best as I can and just tell you why I think, believe it or not, this print magazine gives some really awesome ideas for small businesses right now in 2017 to start cooking. So I'm just going to get right to this whole fold out, like, awesome cover. First of all, it's an ad for Starbucks. Like, brilliant, 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 brilliant. One, it looks like content. You're going to see me talk about this a lot of times with advertisers that look like editorial content. That's how people are consuming content. You know, not that a good promo ad doesn't work, but seriously, if you know, give people the content the way that they're consuming the content. And don't try to, like, buck the system, just jump into the pool, right? But one thing else I want to talk about this big old gatefold cover is, think outside of the box when your partners want to work with you to spend money, right? So if there's only one full page ad on there, or one inside cover ad, but Starbucks wants, or one of your partners wants bigger exposure, make bigger money, or, you know, bigger impact, think outside of the box and work, you know, if there's an opportunity to make 3 full pages of ads plus a cover plus a gatefold, you know, find a way for people to do business with you that want more. You know, if someone comes to you and they say, well, I want an ad on your homepage of your website, or I want an ad on, you know, on your blog post, or I want to sponsor an Instagram, you know, series. You know, sometimes you gotta not just knee-jerk reaction and say, no, we don't do that, and think about, well, maybe we do for the right money, and if it's the right reach and the right, you know, the right audience, yeah, maybe we do that. So don't be afraid to make money. And that may sound crazy, but I've worked with a lot of businesses that are so afraid about perception and taking risks that they forget to make money. So about some out-of-the-box opportunities. So that's just the first thing there. And then look at this recipe index. Well, this is 2010. So this is a recipe index, basically, for the whole magazine. This isn't even online. This is recipe index. Think about what this could have been to, like, an Instagram or a Facebook photo gallery. And the reason why I'm sharing this now is because obviously they did it in print. But think of it in reverse. If you're a restaurant or you're any kind of business that's doing, you know, products or services, even services can be done in this way. Don't blow all of your awesome, juicy content in one post or in one bleh, you know, like one ta-da, you know. I mean, find a way to spread it out. I mean, this, you know, 100 some odd recipes or whatever it is, yes, it has its place as one captured piece here, you know, in a spread. But think about how, if you're spending all this time and energy and money to gather content or put together, produce content, think about how you can repurpose it over and over and over again, right? So think about how this could be a photo gallery on your website, then you share it to Facebook, or a Facebook photo gallery, or an Instagram series, or a Pinterest board. You know, just because you're creating all this awesome content, whether it be you're snapping photos for an annual report or snapping photos for your PowerPoint presentation or your sales pitch, how can that content become little mini content, and how can you stretch the width and kind of stretch, you know, the usefulness of that content? That's probably one of the number one things I see with businesses, is that they're sitting on a landmine of content and they just haven't thought about, they're like, oh, that was a blog post we did last year. Well, how can you dice it up, and instead of doing a blog post of our top 5 tips for the year, how can you then, after you've done the initial release, go out and rethink about redistributing that content? Every week you share another tip, or every month you share another tip, or from that original post, or share 10 and then at the end share the whole collection again. So think about ways you can redistribute your content. And like I said, I have no idea what they did with this, but that's what it made me think of, and that's what it made me, that was the inspiration for reminding small businesses that's, you know, you don't have to spend that money on that content, or creating that content, or curating that content over and over and over again. You know, talk with your marketers, talk with your team about how can you stretch the buck on, you know, on deploying that content, especially because then it also starts gaining traction, and, you know, it starts building, you know, like a snowball effect. You know, it starts building as opposed to just one-off all the time. So the other thing is that you'll see me talk about it here in their magazine, up front and center, on the cover, up front and center, humans, 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 humans. It's a food magazine. It could be real easy. All recipes, which they do a brilliant job at. The photography and stuff is awesome. But humans, 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 small businesses, people hire people. People hire people. Get your humans front and center. Get your teams, get pictures of your team, get your culture. People hire people. So get your humans on display. They did the same thing here. It's not just objects. This could have easily just been objects, but they got their humans faces right there. And then obviously it's an enter to win. You know, small businesses, it's okay to have, now obviously that's not going to be appropriate for all businesses to do an enter to win, you know, contest. It's just not, you know, but you've ultimately got something that somebody wants, right? So is there a way to do a contest that's appropriate, not cheesy, and going to help you build revenue or reach? So, again, contests are huge, 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 huge in my book for small businesses, especially if you're trying to build an email list. You can use all kinds of really cool apps out there now that are make it really easy for small businesses to start growing your newsletter list, you know, your email database. Someone amazing once said, and I apologize, I don't know who it was, said, if you own the email, you own the relationship. And that's true. You know, think about not just the contest, but think about the remarketing after the contest. So again, contests are fantastic for small businesses. A great way to grow a fan base or an email database to help remarket. And it's a great way to talk about yourself in a cool, fun way without just blah, 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 FYI, FYI. You know, it's a cool, fun, exciting way, and your whole team and your ambassadors and your cheerleaders can help get behind you and promote a contest as opposed to promoting your homepage, right? So think about contests in that way. How can they grow not just necessarily revenue, but how can they grow reach, right? If you're giving away a service, say you're a designer like me and you want to give away a logo design, or you want to give away a social media package, or you want to give away a cleaning package, or you want to give away a cooking class, think about everybody that signs up as a potential customer. So how can you make everybody a winner? So have 25 winners. Don't have one winner. Obviously, you don't give away the farm, but you don't give away 25 logo designs. But maybe you give away one campaign and give away some smaller prizes. But think about how you can have more winners. More winners equals more talk, more third-party endorsement, more follow-ups, more testimonials. So think about contests in that way. So like I said, I'm on like idea 3. But so the other thing I wanted to show you was this cross promotion, and this again comes down to, I don't say selling your content, because this is obviously an advertorial. This is an advertorial section done with one of their chefs, and it's Sam's Club. I mean, it's huge. It's like 6 or 7 special pull-out pages with like peel-off recipe cards. I know a lot. I've worked in media for a long time, and I've worked for a lot of companies that they're holding their brand real tight. They're holding it real tight, and they're afraid to do partnerships. And because sometimes they maybe don't make perfect sense like this. I mean, obviously she's a chef. She's got her stuff at their, available for sale in their stores. They sponsored like a recipe section. They did content that looks like recipes. It's completely fabulous, this advertorial section. But, they found a way. They didn't say, no, we couldn't possibly, have paid for content, or we couldn't possibly have, maybe promo or endorsement. And you'd be amazed at how many businesses I run into that are just so afraid of having an influencer, especially if it's a paid advertisement or a paid partner, talk about their business and help promote their business. So don't be afraid of those conversations. It's relevant in this day and age. It's just relevant. Readers expect it, customers expect it. And as long as you're legit and upfront with them about what you're doing, and you're not trying to fool them or switch bait or bait click, them to something else, just, try and keep an open mind about that, and find out ways that you can do that. Find out ways that you can partner with other colleagues or similar brands or similar partners in your business to maybe go in and partner to make some money or grow some reach. So this is also very similar, same kind of thing. This whole pull-out section for this true thing here. So not only do they pay for this little pull-out section with their full-page ad, But if you flip to the back, this is so brilliant. It's just so brilliant because this whole little mini 50 holiday drinks, pull this out, stash it, whatever. But it's paid for by them because it's on the other side. It's a whole one piece. So essentially, they got to do this really cool pull-out promo, of their own content, their own stuff, and look really cool. This is a reach tool for them. It's going to keep them top of mind with their readers. And it was paid for. I mean, they let someone pay for it, and they kept it cool and relevant. So again, there's ways to be relevant and real and legit and not give up your brand and get it paid for. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a business, right? You got to make some money. And there's a lot of they're brilliant at it. Again, here's another great idea where make your content, a lot of you guys are running ads, in trade magazines or trade pubs or, people are consuming content. They want content, right? So you can do advertisement that has value, that isn't just FYI. FYI, we have a crock pot. Well, who doesn't? They had recipes. They have a recipe on there. Be relevant. Give value. Give immediate value to the consumer and your customers. And you can't go wrong. The perception of what you do is real. Oh, they're giving me a recipe. It's just the value is just. It's amazing how well it would go with the customer. Here's another, wow. The print job alone on this book was a production nightmare, but this is another whole pullout. But look, they did a brilliant editorial look. Just another great sample of make your advertising, your paid marketing and advertising spend fit your audience. I know it can be more expensive. Instead of doing 6 media buys, I would so wholeheartedly suggest you do 3 media buys and do specific content for all 3. Pay for the content for all 3. Fit the market, fit the audience, and then repurpose that advertising content into editorial content on your site, on your Instagram, on your Pinterest. Just instead of doing one FYI, blah, 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 everything for everybody ad, and then putting it in 6 pubs, do 3 and do them this way, and then stretch that content, and then maybe use that existing content for, sponsored posts or, get some legs out of that content because it's just, this is just where it's at. Advertising content is where it's at and perceived value. So I skipped a bunch, but this is another one that I want to go into, and this is a December calendar that they did. And again, how it's an enter to win, but it's a daily enter to win. Obviously, they're huge. They got tons of prizes. They have tons of stuff. But what's awesome about this is that they're constantly using their print to promote their online. So what does that mean to a small business? Well, if you're doing a direct mail piece, use it to promote your online. If you're doing an online piece, use it to help promote what you're doing out on Instagram. If your audience is sitting out on Instagram, but you need them to be on your website, you've got to go out to your Instagram audience and talk to them in a way that is relevant to them on Instagram to bring them back to your website, right? You've got to talk to them in a way that they want to be talked to. You cannot go out there and push your own format and expect any kind of engagement or expect anybody to react. It's just, nobody's got time for that. There's like a gazillion options. And so you've got to get in the zone, right? Just jump in the pool, right? So what's awesome about this is, oh my God, this could have been an Instagram post every day. Every item could have been an Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook post every day, all driving back to this homepage on the site. It's printed in a magazine. Obviously they did it online, but you don't have to have a printed magazine. Now, say you're doing a trade event or you're going to a fundraiser or a networker, if you print out this and put it in the goodie bags or put it in the trade bag, and then you tell everybody, follow us on Instagram, you can win something every day, or follow us on Pinterest, you can win something every day. Wherever your audience is. If your audience is there, you got to be there, right? You don't need to have a Pinterest page if your audience isn't on Pinterest. You don't have to be out on Instagram doing an Instagram post every day if your audience is not out on Pinterest or out on Instagram. But wherever they are, you've got to go. So if you can rally something like this, it doesn't have to be 30. It could be one a week. It could be one a month, but Don't do one a month contest. Woohoo! Full bonanza blitz. Do do a 12-month contest, different prize every month. Get some momentum. Let the work kind of build up. So I don't know any small business has got time to do 12 contests, but you need the reach and the relevance of 12 contests, right? So get some momentum. Put some thought into the background. Put together an annual contest, where every month there's a prize. Let it build on each other. Let the creative build on each other. So you don't have to do creative every 2 weeks. Step back and think forward just a smidge. And with this kind of stuff, and you could stretch this out to an entire social media campaign, an entire email, campaign. That's just kind of how my brain works, and I like to, see something like this and how can you stretch it to get the most revenue and reach out of it. Again, this is a print magazine. You don't need to have a print magazine. This is just ideas and inspiration to help you kind of think about what you're doing, to help you kind of get some capture and connect, so that you can kick ass. So many businesses just connect, kind of in panic mode. And you're constantly reinventing the wheel. So if you step back for a second, get your whole team around the table and think about how you can kind of package some of this stuff out so that you can get, some longevity out of these campaigns. So let me just dig through here and see if there's, again, another great example of relevant ad material where they just gave out a recipe. And you'd be amazed about how many times I see print ads, or I see FYI direct mail. I see FYI billboards. FYI, we have a product. Great. Get FYI is no results. None. FYI, no. Call to action. Tell the customer what you want them to do. Tell them what you want them to do. And they'll do it. That's just, if you make them guess, if you make them think too hard, with that 411, FYI advertising, you're going to be in the dust. So, because someone goes, oh, great, you have a grand opening. Woohoo, yeah, okay, great. What am I supposed to do with that? So tell them what you want them to do. And let's see, holiday drinks, gorgeous. The photography is just insane. To all a good bite, advertising, clever, specific and clever. Just lovely. And so let me see what's at the end here. What's at the end? Oh, again, the winner is, this is probably the number one fail I see with businesses that do contests. Number one. Hands down. And I'm guilty. After working in the media industry for a long time, I've done a gazillion contests. I have given away so many freaking tickets and prizes, and big ass prizes. We gave away big ass prizes, and not once did we make good on the rollout of the prize of the contest. We did months and months and countless ad inches and promotion space and all that to promote the contest and to get the winner. And then it was like a mention, like we called the winner and be like, congratulations, you won a $5,000 prize. Yay. We did nothing. Now, obviously, a lot of this is before social, but you'd be amazed at how many contests I see rocking. And the number one mistake that businesses are making is that they do not celebrate the win. What a huge monumental fail that is when you don't celebrate the winner. And this is an awesome example of celebrating the winner. There's her face, there's her recipe, and the winner is, ta-da, full page. She's going to share that like crazy. She probably ran out and bought like 900 copies of the magazine and sent it to all her friends. She probably gifted it to everybody. When you have that and you can get that online, that's viral, that's sharing, that's, if you've got someone writing an article or someone partnering with you or, someone jumping in and working with you on a project or a service, get that information, give them the tools that they need to help promote you. How can they share a phone call? How can they share, a text or an email that, oh, congratulations, you won. Get a testimonial, get a photo, you're missing out on the culture and the social relevance of of who you are as a company, and the celebration. You're forgetting to celebrate, which sucks. You know, we do so much. We're so busy getting to the next thing, we forget to celebrate. And that's something you'll hear me talk about a million times over and over and over. But you've got to celebrate, and especially when you're going to use it as a tool to let someone else talk about you and tell you how awesome you are. So, again, you know, one magazine, 25 ideas off the top of my head. I'm going to do this series every Thursday. Most of them are going to be really short and sweet, I promise. But again, you know, get your brain cooking, get the ideas out, get your friends and your colleagues in around the table, and just look at what is happening out in the market around you and see how it can be relevant to you and how it can inspire you to do kick-ass things. So that's it for me. And again, this is Carleen Clearwater with Kickass Marketing and Creative. And I hope you guys have a kick-ass Thursday. I know I say it all the time. Talk to you real soon.